Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, pay up or pack up. A landowner is tearing up a lease with an oil company and threatening to block access. Spaces for seniors, the province's plan to help its aging population stay and live close to home. And a league of their own, why two local sports and community organizations are teaming up.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Some Alberta landowners say they are absolutely fed up with oil and gas companies using their land and not paying for it. Today, several came together to say their agreement with one particular company is done and they're blocking further access. CTV's Nicole Weisberg has the details and reaction.
This is their lease contract. It is no more. We're tearing it up. It's done.
Landowner Mark Doran says it's time for Mega Energy to pack up and leave this southwest Edmonton property. He says the Calgary-based company hasn't paid to operate here for 3 years, even after he sent a notice for payment in January.
According to the lease contract, there's a clause in it that says if the lessor, the landowner, makes a demand to pay and the default is incurred within 30 days, if they haven't paid up within 30 days, the landowner can re-enter on the land and that tenancy of that lease shall terminate. And it did terminate. I received no reply.
Doran says by law, Mega can continue to access the site to decommission it, but it cannot continue to operate. He says last week he notified the Alberta Energy Regulator. The company has not complied, but he hasn't heard back.
My message to the regulator, do your damn job. And I also want to say politely to Mega Energy, pay your bills, shut down your wells, and clean up your mess and get the hell off the land.
The regulator tells CTV News it cannot comment on individual cases. However, it says if the AER determines a company has failed to comply with a term or condition of a private surface agreement, it may issue an order to comply. The energy minister says the landowners involved are guaranteed to get paid their rents until the wells are fully reclaimed, and says they should apply to the Land and Property Rights Tribunal.
It creates a situation where companies won't pay. They feel like they don't have to pay.
Doran believes it's the companies that should be paying. He is calling on other landowners in the same position to follow his lead. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
And CTV News has reached out to Mega Energy looking for a response. We have not heard back. Prices at the pumps are expected to keep rising while Canada and several other countries take measures hoping to tame energy prices during the war in the Middle East. Gas Tracker Gas Buddy shows prices are up across Alberta and are expected to spike again soon. The International Energy Agency agreed to release 400 million barrels of oil reserves to counter a rise in global oil prices. Canada exports more oil than it uses, so it does not keep a reserve, but it is exploring other ways to help. This is expected to have ripple effects throughout the world until the Strait of Hormuz is unblocked.
Canadians are already feeling the pain at the local pump whenever they need to fill up their vehicle. But now shipping rates are going to end up being impacted because diesel has taken such a high jump in price. When you factor in all of those things, that means groceries. That means your front door delivery.
The cost of air travel is also going up. WestJet says in recent days, fuel prices have continued to rise and fares have adjusted accordingly. The province says a baby with a case of influenza has died. The latest update from the province shows a child under the age of 1 who had the flu has died. The province did not disclose where in Alberta the child died. 258 people with the virus have died since the start of flu season in mid-August. That is a record. A little more than 20% of Albertans have been vaccinated. The parole board has denied temporary leave to a convicted killer in a high-profile Edmonton case. Mark Twitchell was an amateur filmmaker in 2011. He was found guilty of first-degree murder for the 2008 death of Johnny Altinger. During his murder trial, court heard Altinger thought he was going to meet a woman from the internet. He showed up at a rented garage in Mill Woods. Twitchell killed Altinger, dismembered his body, and dumped it in the sewer. The trial made international headlines and attracted the attention of true crime TV shows. Today, the parole board denied Twitchell's request for 2 escorted visits to see his parents in Edmonton. The board cited the impact the leave would have on Altinger's family. 2 new recall petitions have been issued for Alberta MLAs. Elections Alberta has approved recall petition applications for MLAs Peter Guthrie and Marie Renault. The UCP kicked Guthrie out of caucus last year, leaving him sitting as an independent. He then started the Progressive Tory Party. He's represented the riding of Airdrie Cochrane since 2019. Renault has represented St. Albert as an NDP MLA since 2015. Canvassers now have 90 days to collect the required number of signatures to move the process forward. 28 recall petitions have been submitted to Elections Alberta. So far, none of them have been successful or they were withdrawn. As the province's aging population grows, the UCP government is looking to increase spaces in seniors' lodges. It's spending $150 million to build and upgrade existing senior lodges. A seniors' lodge provides rooms, meals, housekeeping, and community support for independent seniors. More than 1,000 units are being created. The province says the money hasn't been allocated to specific new builds or upgrade projects just yet. It says most will be in rural areas so people can be close to home.
People don't want to come to the big cities if they've lived in rural their whole life.
When a senior's residence no longer meets their needs or is no longer safe for independent living, it is important that suitable options are available within their community.
Intake applications for the Seniors Lodge program is expected to open this fall, and those will help determine where the money goes. Some traffic fines are going up tomorrow in Alberta. Fines for many offences will increase by about 30%, and some penalties will double. The offences include distracted driving, careless driving, and not wearing a seatbelt. Fines for speeding will also go up. For example, the fine for going just 1 kilometre over the speed limit will increase from $88 to $176. 50 kilometres over could net you a ticket worth $1,000. That's up from $620. Alberta's Justice Minister says new medically assisted dying legislation will be tabled next week. Mickey Amery says it's based on engagement sessions conducted last year with health professionals, regulatory bodies, academics, and stakeholder institutions. Amery says the results of a survey released in November of 2024 were also considered. Amery says more than 22,000 people responded to that survey.
We certainly have the intention of implementing some of the instructions and guidance we received from regular Albertans and the various stakeholders that we spoke to all across this province.
Last month, Government House Leader Joseph Scow said upcoming legislation would prohibit the use of MAID for select groups, including people whose sole underlying condition is mental illness. The federal government currently doesn't allow for MAID in those circumstances. As we head into another cold snap, the city has activated its extreme weather response. The city activates this response when it could hit -20 or lower with the wind chill at least 3 days in a row. As usual, city facilities will be open, acting as a space to warm up. If you see someone who needs help, you should call 211. With more on the cold headed our way, here's CTV's Kalen Mitchell, who's in for Josh for the rest of the week. Kalen?
Thank you, Matt. As always, it's my pleasure to be in for Josh over the next couple of days. Snowy day for parts of Alberta as a low-pressure system exited to the southeast of the province. Some parts of the province picking up about 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, but the heaviest falling both to the west and the south of the city of Edmonton. Now, that low-pressure system, as it heads off towards the southeast, is trailing a trough of low pressure back through the province. It is keeping some steadier snow around the southeastern corner of the province, around areas like Medicine Hat, and there'll be some lingering flurries up between the area between Calgary and Edmonton, including for the city, which will continue to have a chance of some flurries as we make our way through this evening and tonight. So let's take a look at the forecast here over the next 24 hours, beginning with tonight. It is going to be colder. Temperatures have been falling throughout the day today in a light northeast wind. And as we make our way into the overnight and start of the day for tomorrow, it kind of bottoms out around -14. And not a lot of improvement through the day on Friday. The afternoon high temperature well below average for the first part of March. It's going to be around -9 with a mix of sun and cloud. And there's some further colder temperatures ahead as we move into the upcoming weekend. More on that when I'm back a little bit later on. Matt.
Kalen, thanks very much. Coming up next on CTV News, the pros and cons of using a legal tool to try and prevent infill housing in your neighborhood.
There's quite an interest in it because people just don't know what to expect with the infill.
The CTV drone powered by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Friday on Your Morning, how local researchers are teaching parents physical literacy to help their kids increase activity and decrease screen time. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
City Council recently tweaked the rules for infill housing to address concerns from Edmontonians. For many, though, those changes don't go far enough. Some communities looking to protect property values are considering restrictive covenants to prevent infill multiplexes from being built. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, that might actually hurt property values.
It was nearly a full house at the Royal Gardens Community Hall Wednesday night, with people eager to learn more about how a legal tool called a restrictive covenant could influence how infill housing is built.
There's quite an interest in it because people just don't know what to expect with the infill.
So far, Royal Gardens hasn't seen the same explosion of new homes some more central neighborhoods have, but people here are well aware of projects that impose shadows, parking struggles, and privacy concerns on neighbors.
You can see up here the famous case of a Crestwood resident having 2 duplexes on either side.
We understand infill has to happen for the city to grow and the city not to sustain massive infrastructure costs. We get it. However, we don't want to be victims of predatory situation here.
Neighborhood organizers have drafted a restrictive covenant for people to consider signing. The legal contract between neighbors is tied to the land title. It restricts what can be built beyond city zoning requirements.
Any homeowner has the opportunity to do what they want with their property, whether it's putting in a basement suite or garage suite or signing a restrictive covenant.
Councillor Michael Jan says these are consequential decisions. Once signed, it's on your title until every neighbor who joined agrees to have it removed. And while many Edmontonians worry nearby infill will hurt their property value, he says a restrictive covenant carries that same risk.
So you should absolutely meet with an independent lawyer. You shouldn't take someone's word for it. This does have a material impact on the value of your property. And a restrictive covenant is essentially limiting what you're able to do with your own property into the future.
Council adjusted infill rules in the summer and again last month. Projects under those parameters haven't been built yet, so Jan says signing a restrictive covenant may be premature. Still, it's a conversation happening in communities across the city.
It's one measure of control that we think we need to have for ourselves.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The appeal court is upholding Canmore's livability tax program. The program applies to a higher tax rate to homes that are not used as primary residences by owners. It was brought in to help with the town's housing crisis. It was put on hold, though, while an appeal worked its way through the court system. The town is anticipating legislative changes by the province that could exempt Albertans from the higher tax rate. Oilers goaltender Connor Ingram has been cleared to play after taking a hard hit Tuesday against the Colorado Avalanche.
He is good, he's healthy, he's not starting tonight, but he is able to play if we needed him.
Jari will start in goal tonight as the Oilers look for their 3rd win in a row. They face the Stars in Dallas. Adam Henrique will play his first game in a week after a minor injury last Friday. Henrique says he's feeling good after an initial scare.
Ended up being better than what we originally thought, so that was good news, and just and again try to get back as soon as you can, and it's tough watching the games, but the guys have played great the last couple games, so just want to come in and continue that.
Tonight's game begins at 6 o'clock. The Oilers then battle the Blues in St. Louis tomorrow night. Still to come tonight on CTV News, no longer a fee, free-for-all. There are now limits on how much banks can charge customers for overdraft.
It's just a big cash cow for the banks.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Josh Clausen is off tonight and tomorrow, so CTV's Kaylin Mitchell is standing by with your full forecast. Kaylin?
Thank you, Matt. As we talked about earlier, in the wake of a snowy weather system for a good portion of the province, we have some colder temperatures. By midnight tonight, most temperatures in Alberta will have fallen well down into the minus single digits and some into the minus teens and minus 20s. Minus 20s for some of the northernmost communities in the province. Now, some of that weather system is still lingering in the form of some areas of lighter snow and flurries. There's still a chance of some flurries around Edmonton as we make our way through this evening and tonight. Slightly higher chance some flurries down towards Red Deer. That continues into the start of the day for tomorrow, but largely on Friday, what we're expecting is a mix of sun and cloud. Now, later Friday evening, night, and into early Saturday morning, a band of some lighter snow is expected to develop in the area approximately from Edson and then in between Edmonton and Red Deer, and there may be some additional snowfall amounts in that in the range of around 2 to 6 centimeters. For the rest of tonight, though, into the start of the day, additional snow looks like it's going to be pretty light. Most communities with a chance of picking up trace amounts or maybe up to around a few centimeters, 1 to 5 centimeters around areas like Lloydminster and Cold Lake, as well as Medicine Hat in the southeast. Let's take a look at the temperatures to start the day for tomorrow. Plenty cold across Alberta, well down to the minus teens for most communities and some in the north down into the minus 20s. And the daytime high temperatures aren't that much better for Friday. Here's a look at your highs, and high level will be around minus 13, minus 12 at Slave Lake for tomorrow, minus 7 at Whitecourt, and minus 9 for Edmonton. Down through southern areas of Alberta, not much better, with Red Deer with a high temperature of around minus 7, minus 5 for Calgary, Medicine Hat and Lethbridge with high temperatures tomorrow at around minus 2. Looking ahead to the weekend, temperatures continue to get a little bit colder, a little bit of a March cold snap that we're dealing with, especially during the nights and the mornings. Temperatures particularly cold Sunday morning could be around minus 20 to start the day. The afternoon high temperature on Sunday around minus 7. Start of next week, the temperatures begin to moderate a little bit, but there is a chance some flurries or a little bit of patchy light freezing rain on Monday and a low chance some showers on Tuesday of next week. But temperatures milder. That Tuesday, Wednesday time frame could see some high temperatures to get up towards the high single digits. And then they cool off a little bit, becoming seasonably cool or chilly through the end of next week with a chance of flurries on Friday. And then the following weekend, March 21st and March 22nd, looking very seasonable for around mid to late March and mostly with a mix of sun and cloud. Matt.
All right, Kalen, thank you. New rules went into effect today to limit how much banks can charge customers if their account is running a little low. CTV's Pat Foran has more.
I think that I'm not the only one that's dealing with this.
Elvira Townsend told CTV News she tries to pay her bills on time, but last year her bank balance dropped to minus $9, and she was charged an NSF fee of $48, putting her account $57 in arrears.
I know there's a lot of people struggling. I'm struggling, and that $48 is a lot.
Canada's major banks were able to charge $45 to $48 per NSF transaction, which allowed them to profit billions of dollars since the fees were first implemented. No more. Now there's a $10 cap on non-sufficient fund fees. Consumers cannot be charged an NSF fee more than once in a period of 2 business days for the same account, and consumers will not be charged NSF fees when the shortfall on the account is less than $10. Capping NSF fees is considered a win for consumers, but some advocates say banks should be forced to do much more.
This is a small win, a small baby step by the federal government.
Duff Conacher with Democracy Watch worries banks will find a way to recoup the fees some other way. He says the next target for the government should be slashing credit card interest rates. Many cards have rates of 20 to 30%, which he calls price gouging.
Rates have not gone down when interest rates dropped. They automatically go up when interest rates go up. And it's just a big cash cow for the banks.
While capping NSF fees at $10 may be a good start, Acorn says Canadian banks should have to follow American banks. Many have eliminated NSF fees altogether. Pat Foran, CTV News.
When we return, athletes arrive in Alberta for Canada's first Sumo Wrestling Festival.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Programming brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Programming brought to you by Senior Home Care by Angels, Canada's choice in home care.
Calgary is getting ready to host a sumo wrestling festival this weekend. It's the athletes' first time in our province. 3 are from Japan and 1 is Egyptian. They're taking part in Sumo Fest 2026, where they will host an exhibition at the Nutrient Center. Calgary's Japanese Community Association will host a market and cultural events. The wrestlers say they're eager to show their craft to attendees.
And now here I am in Canada for first time at all in Canada, Sumo show. We do it here. We write history for Sumo and for myself. This is legacy for me to do something here in Canada for first time.
The event takes place tomorrow and Saturday. Play Where You Live is a new initiative being offered in neighborhoods across Edmonton. The Edmonton Federation of Community Leagues is working with Sport Edmonton to make sports and recreation easier for kids to access. CTV's Amanda Anderson has the details.
2, 1. For some, the decision to get kids involved in sport can feel just like this game of tug of war.
We know that there's barriers to kids participating in sport now, and we want to reduce those barriers as much as we can.
The Edmonton Federation of Community Leagues has teamed up with Sport Edmonton to make sports and recreation options affordable and held close to home.
Essentially do something simple but ambitious, and that's get kids to play where they live. So building programs and building partnerships that allow them to do that across the Community League network.
We're a lower income community, and having access to sports at the community center is super important to us.
The partnership is still in its early stages. Evan Daum, the head of Sport Edmonton, expects his team will help each individual community league set up structured and unstructured sports and rec activities.
The last thing you want to be doing is driving 45 minutes across the city for them to participate in something that's related to sport. So we want to eliminate that barrier for people at the youngest ages so they get the chance to build those basic physical literacy skills and build the other social skills that come with being part of sport.
It'll be, let's go have some fun and just, enjoy the sport and experience the joy of it.
Sport Edmonton will work with organizations to help bring the sport and all equipment needed to local neighborhoods that want it.
You tell us what the need is, and we're going to go out and find it and fill it for you. So that's really what we're trying to do from Sport Edmonton, is to be that connector.
And we're going to meet kids from the neighborhood. Our kids don't meet each other as much anymore. Schools are different. Kids don't necessarily go to their neighborhood schools. This helps to bring and build those community bonds between parents and families.
She hopes bringing people together through sport will also enhance safety as neighbors get to know and watch out for one another. Which sports will be supported starting this summer will be decided by each community league. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.